Well, hello. And what is it that we say each week? What's up? What's up with you? How are you today? Or do you remember when we first met Doug the dog in our story? How did he greet people? What did he say? Hello, my name is Doug. I just met you. I love you. That's such a dog thing to do, isn't it? Dogs are kind of notorious for love at first sight. They just love. And that kind of lifts your spirit, doesn't it? We could use some spirit lifting today, given where the story has gone. I wonder what will happen. I mean, the house was on fire and it was going to crash somewhere and they were not going to make it to Paradise Falls. It didn't look good. So let's hear what happens next and hope for the best.
Carl made it to Paradise Falls, but he felt lonely in his empty house. So with Russell and Doug's help, Carl went back and rescued Kevin. But this time, Carl could not save his house. It fell down, down, down. But that was okay. Carl might have lost his house, but he still had his memories of Ellie, and he also had friends.
Wow, a happy ending. Wasn't that wonderful? Wasn't it wonderful how Carl lifted up his friends and felt so much better? You might even say that his heart was lifted. You ever use that expression? You're happy and your heart is lifted? Maybe you remember those words that we say sometimes when we come to the table at worship, when we gather around and remember that Jesus invited us to this meal together. Sometimes we call it communion. And sometimes the words we use, which people have used for a long time, and many people in many places, we say we lift our hearts and we say we lift them to God. It's a way of seeking happiness, of trying to feel better and to feel some joy. And we can do that for one another. We can lift each other's hearts by doing simple things for one another. I want to tell you a story about a way that we do that right here in our space, in our congregation. There's a woman in our congregation who comes to us and asks for quarters. Someone asking for quarters, how's that make anybody happy? It makes you a little less happy because you're 25 cents poorer than you were before, right? Well, she asked for these quarters because she takes all that she gathers to the laundromat. Do you know what a laundromat is? The place where people go to wash their clothes and they have to pay for each load of laundry as they go through. And usually you pay with a bunch of quarters. And if you don't have a lot of money, it's hard to come up with enough quarters to keep your clothes clean. And people who go to laundromats tend to be people who are poor because if you had more money, you'd probably buy a washing machine and a dryer and have them in your home. So she goes to the laundromat and gives out community quarters. Community quarters. When people say, what's this for? I say, it's just for the community today. It's for you. And you know what happens almost every single time she does that? Yeah, people smile. Their spirits are lifted. Their hearts are lifted. They find happiness. And you know what? You can do that for other people too. In very simple, kind acts. It doesn't have to be much. You might just let someone have the seat next to you at lunch. You might say a nice thing about someone, how they look, what they wore today. You might just say hello. How are you? What's up? There are so many ways to be up to something good. And I hope that you find many, many ways to do that this week.
I'm gonna be